Have you ever stopped to think about that simple bar of soap by your sink, or the bottle of body wash in your shower? We use it every single day without a second thought. But where did it come from? The story of soap is surprisingly rich and stretches back thousands of years. It's a tale of chemistry, ancient civilizations, social change, and even a bit of accidental discovery. So, let's lather up and dive into the fascinating history of soap. Our journey begins in ancient Babylon. Around 2800 BC, archaeologists have found clay cylinders with inscriptions describing a recipe for something very much like soap. But here's the twist. It probably wasn't used for personal hygiene. The Babylonians mixed animal fats with wood, ash, and water. The result was a substance that could clean wool and cotton textiles before they were dyed. Imagine that the world's first soap was essentially an industrial-strength laundry detergent. They were brilliant chemists, even if they didn't fully understand the science behind saponification, which is the chemical reaction that creates soap. They just knew that this mixture cut through grease and dirt like nothing else. Meanwhile, ancient Egyptians were also getting in on the cleansing act. Around 1550 BC, the Ebers Papyrus, an ancient medical text, describes a similar soap-like substance. They combined animal and vegetable oils with alkaline salts. Like the Babylonians, they used it for washing clothes. But the Egyptians also used it as a medicine, mixing it with other ingredients to create ointments for treating skin diseases. So, while they weren't exactly scrubbing down for a bath, they recognized its healing and cleansing properties in a medical context. It seems personal hygiene as we know it still wasn't the main event. Now, let's talk about the Romans. There's a popular legend about the origin of the word soap. The story goes that on Mount Sapo, a mythical place in Rome, animals were sacrificed. Rain would wash the melted animal fat and would ash from the sacrificial altars down to the banks of the Tiber River. Women washing their clothes in the river noticed that this mysterious mixture made their laundry much cleaner. It's a great story, but unfortunately there's no real evidence to support it. The word soap actually comes from the Latin word sapo, which first appears in Pliny the Elder's Naturalized Historia. He described it as an invention of the Gauls, used to give their hair a reddish tint, not for washing. It seems even the Romans, famous for their public baths, didn't use soap for personal cleaning. They preferred to clean themselves by rubbing oil on their skin and then scraping it off with a tool called a strigil. So when did people actually start using soap to wash their bodies? The shift seems to have happened gradually throughout the Middle East and the early Islamic world. Cities like Aleppo, Syria, became major centers for soap production. They developed a superior method using olive oil and laurel oil, creating a hard, beautifully scented soap that was gentle on the skin. The Crusaders are often credited with bringing this luxurious Aleppo soap back to Europe around the 11th century. Suddenly, the Europeans had access to a product that was miles ahead of their own crude, animal fat-based soaps. This sparked a soap-making boom across Europe. Spain, with its abundant olive groves, became a leading producer with its Castile soap, made from pure olive oil. France followed, particularly in Marseille, creating its own famous Savon de Marseille. These high-quality vegetable oil soaps were expensive luxury items, available only to the wealthy. For the general population, cleanliness was still not a top priority, and bathing was infrequent. Hard to imagine, right? The real turning point for soap came much later, during the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries. A couple of key breakthroughs made soap production cheaper and more efficient. In 1791, a French chemist named Nicolas Leblanc patented a process for making soda ash, a key ingredient in soap, from common salt. This made a once expensive material widely available. Then, in the 1820s, another chemist, Michel Eugene Chevreul, figured out the exact chemical relationship between fats, glycerin, and fatty acids, finally turning soap making from a craft into a science. With these advancements, big soap manufacturers like Pears, and later Lever Brothers in the UK, began to mass-produce soap. But they faced a problem: how to convince people to buy it. This is where modern advertising was born. These companies launched massive campaigns linking soap to cleanliness, health, and social status. Catchy slogans and beautiful posters promoted soap as a key to beauty. a way to prevent disease, and a sign of being a respectable member of society. This marketing push, combined with a growing understanding of germ theory, thanks to scientists like Louis Pasteur, dramatically changed public attitudes. Personal hygiene became a social norm, and the daily bath or shower became a common ritual. The 20th century brought even more innovation. During World War I and II, the oils and fats needed for soap were in short supply because they were needed for the war effort. This led to the invention of synthetic detergents. These chemical surfactants, often derived from petroleum, could clean just as well as traditional soap and weren't dependent on agricultural resources. This is why today many of our soaps aren't technically soap at all. Your body wash, dish soap, and laundry detergent are most likely synthetic detergents. They work great in hard water and can be formulated for all sorts of specific purposes. And that brings us to the present day. We have an incredible variety of cleansing products at our fingertips, from artisanal, style soap bars to specialized face washes, antibacterial hand soaps, and moisturizing body washes. We've come a long way from the Babylonians' laundry cleaner and the Romans' hair pomade. The humble bar of soap has shaped our history, driven scientific discovery, and fundamentally changed our relationship with cleanliness and health. So the next time you wash your hands, take a moment to appreciate the thousands of years of history and innovation that went into that simple act. It's a small daily ritual that connects us to a long and fascinating human story. What started as a way to clean textiles has become one of the most important public health tools in history, saving countless lives by preventing the spread of disease. It's a reminder that sometimes the most revolutionary inventions are the ones we use every day. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the sudsy history of soap. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you do and miss our next deep dive into the history of everyday things. See you next time.